Now, let me talk about music and the importance of language when it comes to music. The essence of music, gospel music, is to impact people's lives. Okay, so whatever it is that you are doing as a gospel musician, the main aim or the motive is to be a blessing to someone, is to touch someone with the music, because the music carries a message. Now, for every message to be properly understood, it needs to be communicated in a language that the person would understand. For every message to be properly understood, it needs to be communicated in a language that the person would properly understand. So that being said, language in music is very important. Language is very, very, very important. Whether it is secular music, whether it's gospel Christian music, whether it's reggae, traditional music, whatever it is that you are doing, as long as the music is directed to a target audience, language is very important. So, for the statements that Pastor Nathaniel Bassi made concerning Ghanaian artists writing songs in English, there is nothing wrong with it. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. The only place that I have a challenge is, one, our media space picking this thing up and blowing it so much out of proportion and making it look like he had said something that is so monstrous, so unheard of, something that is so new to us. It is not. It is not. It is a conversation that has already been going on here concerning going international with our music. So there is nothing wrong with him advising Ghanaians to write songs in English. That being said, I don't even want to go to it whether it was a prophecy or what, because whatever be the case, as a Christian, as a believer who has Christ in me, I can prophesy to you watching me. I can prophesy to you by faith. It doesn't mean God has told me, but I can prophesy to you in faith that in a few years to come, you are going to be in this particular place. You are going to do this. You are going to do this. By faith, I am prophesying to you. If you understand that as a Christian, you wouldn't be arguing. So whether or not it was a prophecy, whether or not he said it, it was an advice or whatever, it doesn't matter. He is a man of God and he has every right by faith to prophesy into our industry. There's nothing wrong with it. Where I have a challenge is how our media space has taken this to become so much of a topical issue that it's become a national discourse. That is very sad. That is very sad. You know why? Because if we're a serious industry, if you have a serious industry where we have systems that work, we have an agenda that we are setting, this wouldn't be a topic of conversation. Because this is not an issue. There are other important things that we can be talking about. This is a basic fact that he stated. So this is not an issue. So why the fuss? Why the fuss? He's been there on a global platform. He's been there. He's been doing these things. And he's telling us that, Charlie, do this if you want to get here. And I see in a few years that if you do this, you are going to get here. There's nothing wrong with it. So why should our whole industry space take this up as a conversation worthy of a national attention? That is sad. Can't we set the right agendas for our gospel industry to follow that course? Can't we set the right agenda for our people to move? Must we have to discuss every tiny thing that comes out because we feel it is something that gets people talking, leaving behind agendas that we can set? Because you see, the reason why we keep comparing ourselves to the Nigerians, and Nigeria has done this and Nigeria has done that, Charlie, Nigerians are intentional. Nigerians have deliberately set an agenda to promote a national project. That is their music. From politics to the creative arts to everything. They are pushing everything in unity. That is the reason why they are going where they are going. If we're a serious country, if we're a serious industry, we wouldn't be making a national conversation out of what he said, because what he said was a basic fact. It was a basic truth. Can't we set an agenda? Can't we? It is very sad that we live in a country where there's disunity on every end. And everybody feels someone is taking advantage. Everybody feels someone is looking down upon. Everybody feels someone doesn't want to support. Everybody, Charlie, we can't grow as an industry with this kind of attitude. So instead of concentrating on the negative, concentrating on the things that are not important, why don't you concentrate on building a good, solid, and viable industry for ourselves? Setting the right agendas, pushing the right conversation. Why can't we do that? That being said, I also feel that it is not necessary to translate every song into English. Reason being that if you are doing gospel music sometimes comes in its undiluted, natural, raw form. There's some songs that you can't translate into English. It is going to lose its efficacy. You are not directed by what man wants. You are directed by what God wants you to do. Man is going to be a tool to get that thing to the people. So let us also be very careful not to dilute the content that God gives us. Because as I said some time back, that gospel music is strictly under the inspiration of the Holy Spirit. You can't do gospel music if you are not singing about Christ. If you are not in sync with Christ, if you are not singing about Jesus, you are not doing gospel music. That is why I am of the view that it's not every Christian singer that is even doing gospel. There are people who are doing Christian music. There's nothing wrong with it. Christian music can be under the Christian umbrella, the fraternity of Christianity. You can sing about a lot of things. You can sing about the life of some of the prophets. You can sing about a lot of things that happen in the Bible. It doesn't necessarily make it gospel music. The hymns that we sing, they are not gospel music. They are hymns. They are Christian music. Let's get these things right. If you get these things right, a lot of the things that we argue about, we won't argue about them. Because Christian music can be the broader and general umbrella under which everything falls. You understand? Gospel music is direct. It's strictly music that's speaking about Christ. Because Christ is the gospel. He's the good news. So if it is not about Christ, it is not necessarily gospel music. You understand? And that aside, it doesn't really take anything away if you are even doing Christian music. So if you are doing gospel music, the song that you are doing should be inspired by Christ. It should be themed around Christ. And if this thing comes, sometimes you will need to sing it as you received it. There's this thing that Mama Amy Newman, one of our greatest gospel musicians in Ghana. This woman has done so much. And to date, when she sings, when Mama Amy Newman sings, you feel the move of the Spirit in her songs. Talk about songs like I'm a Jesus. When you hear that song, you're like, Charlie, these songs carry weight. And it's basically because they are undiluted. How they receive the song is how they gave the song. There are songs that she will tell you that she received the song, she needed to get the song molded in a pattern. Sometimes it comes like that. But sometimes God is going to intentionally drop a song into your spirit just as it is. You sing it just as it is. That is why as a Christian, as a gospel musician, you need to be in sync with the Spirit of God. You can't just get up and do music just because you feel like, yeah, I have some melody, I want to put things together. No, it doesn't work like that. You need to seek the face of God before you come out with anything. You understand? So, in as much as I agree with the fact that music is global, music should go just as it is. Okay. Sometimes it needs to go in a language that people will need to understand. If you want to send your song to a place like Afghanistan, India, other places, you can sing the song in its original form. Get the captions or subtitles on it that will get people to understand what the song means. Okay. But that notwithstanding, if the song can be translated into English, go ahead and do it. But if you have that yearning in your spirit that this song should go just as it is. My brother, my sister, don't touch it. Let the song go as it is. Because there are songs that have impacted the lives of people. They didn't go according to what the song, the words they were hearing the song. They went according to the spirit that is backing the song. There are songs that has moved a lot of people, that people didn't understand that this is what the song was saying, but their heart connected with the spirit behind the song. You see, if you're a gospel musician and your song that you do is a song that is coming directly from your source, that is Christ, language won't be a problem. I am talking in ministry terms now. I'm not talking the business of music. In ministry terms, if your song is coming straight from the spirit, language won't be a problem. You know why? Because once the song falls there, anybody who hears the song, the spirit connects with the spirit behind the song. That is how come you hear certain songs that are not in English, secular songs. You don't need to understand the songs. You hear the song and you are doing soloku seriously, because the song, your spirit has connected with the spirit behind the song, and then you have clicked and you are in sync, you are moving. The same thing happens to gospel music. If the song is in Ewe, if the song is in Ga, if the song is in Fanti, the song is in whatever, and the spirit behind the song is a spirit that God is backing, the spirit of God that is backing that song, the language won't be a problem. Dr. Sonny Badu hosted his Rhythms of Africa concert. I would like to say a big congratulations to Dr. Sonny Badu. I mean, it was a beautiful concert. Sonny Badu's energy is unmatched. I mean, he's always on point. He's always on point. I watched the rehearsals and I was like, hey, Charlie, rehearsals Symphonio. I mean, it was an amazing experience. You see, trust Dr. Sonny Badu to always be in the news. I understand his passion, and he's one person that I have loved his songs for God knows how long. Open the floodgates in abundance and cause your rain to follow me. Abba, open the floodgates in abundance and cause your rain to follow me, Baba. Oh. I mean, this song by Dr. Sonny Badu has blessed so many lives. So many lives. So many lives. I'd just like to say this. In as much as a lot of us might have our own, how do I put this? Ideas and opinions about what he does and how he does it sometimes. Let's not take away the fact that the man is doing something right. Sometimes I feel his showbiz parts becomes a bit extreme. I get it. But that notwithstanding, this is one person that has stood the test of time. So why can't we Ghanaians for once rally behind someone and then solidly push the person through? After his event, I heard people saying certain. So the whole thing was, how is that important? How is that important? At the end of the day, the show came. People were blessed. So how is that so much of a conversation? Sometimes I feel as a Ghana Fono, we like to concentrate on the things that are not important. That's what I feel. That sometimes in your mind, you understand. The program was a major success. I watched bits and pieces of it, and I can tell you that I was expecting him to come on stage and deliver, because I know him to be a fighter, and it doesn't matter whatever happened to his leg. I was expecting that he comes on stage and doesn't give anything short of what I know him to do. And when he came, he didn't. Who knows? Maybe he might have taken some drugs or some